Hello everyone! Today we're going to make this card, and it's just this cute little pocket card, comes out like that, and we're going to be using the Soot Technique, which I learned from Dawn5377 of Dawn Stamping Thoughts here on YouTube. I really love this technique. I couldn't wait to use it myself, and thank you to Dawn for teaching it to me via her YouTube channel. So first, what you need is photo paper, which is this. I am actually using some Kodak. Now, when Dawn did her video, she was able to use some of the glossy paper that Stampin' Up! Used to sell, but we don't sell it anymore. So you can get some glossy photo paper. I got mine from Target. I think it was like $8 or $9 or something like that. As Dawn recommended, so I'm going to pass it on. Get a really cheap candle. You can get one from the Dollar Tree for $1. It gives off the most soot for the Soot Technique and won't cost you much money to get one. So I'm going to light this. Okay. And what you're going to do is take the glossy side of your photo paper and just start running it across the flame, but don't hold it on the flame for too long or it will catch on fire. I did that several times. It took me a little while to get used to this technique, but now that I have it, I'm pretty happy. You see, I've already started burning that a little bit. So it really doesn't take too long for you to get, or to hold it. And this is kind of smelly, so this is one of those projects that's really going to kind of stink up your craft room or your craft space. Right, just run the paper back and forth over the flame. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it from my camera, but you can see from the back that your paper is starting to darken up. Alright, so then what you're going to want to do is take some clean stamps, and I am going to use the hydrangea, which is this one from the Best of Flowers stamp set, and this little cutie right here from the Mixed Bunch stamp set. And I'm just going to, the first one I'm going to use is the hydrangea. Now I'm going to cut this down to size, so for right now it's giant, and I'm going to just use the darkest area that I can. Alright, so I'm going to stamp my hydrangea right there. I'm just going to press it down. Perfect, look at that. And then I'm going to use my cute little flower stamp, and I'm just going to stamp all over the page. Next thing you're going to want to do is take some, I'm using Krylon, so I'm using the Krylon Triple Thick Crystal Clear Glaze, and you'll want to probably spray this outside because it is pretty toxic. I'm going to take it out in my garage, and you can either spray it over newspaper. I usually just use a cardboard box to spray all my stuff in. That way it kind of keeps it concentrated into one area. So I'm going to go and I'm going to spray all over it, and you'll probably want to let it dry for a few minutes. You should be able to tell when it's dry. I'm going to probably let it dry for about 10 or 15 minutes or so, and I'll be back when that's done. Okay, so I'm back. I've trimmed it down to 2.5 by 4, and now what I want to do is make this little ribbon knot right here. It's just a knot, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I have a slit punch. I don't know how well you can see that, but that's a slit right there. It makes a slit. I think it's actually called a ribbon punch or something like that. Alright, so what you're going to do is just take it on each side of the stem. You're going to punch about 1/4 of an inch apart from each other. So you're going to punch one, and then go about 1/4 of an inch on the other side of the stem. And punch it again. I'm going to take a piece of scallop dot basic black ribbon, and I just fold mine, and I'm going to go from back to front. Alright. You're just going to pull it through one side from the back to the front through one of the slits, and then pull it through the other one to the back. So you've got that in the front. And then you're going to flip it to the back, and you're going to pull it again. I'm going to fold it one more time. I'm going to pull it again through the outside of the opposite slit. Okay, and you probably want to turn it a little bit, give it a little twist. Okay, so it's going to look like that. And then I'm going to trim this other side. You want to trim it with enough length so that you can cut it down to the length you want it. Again, give it a little fold so it'll go through a little easier, and pull it through the outside of that slot, the other slot. Of course, if you use thinner ribbon, or not thinner, but ribbon that's not as wide, it's a little bit easier to do this technique, but it's worth it because it's really cute in the end. It's a little bit of an exercise in patience. All right, now you're going to just trim it down to whatever size you want your little legs to be. All right, then you're going to take a piece of basic black, and this is cut at 3.5 by 4 3/4, and a piece of Whisper White, and this is cut at 3 by 4.5. What I've done is stamped using that cute little stamp, again from the mixed bunch stamp set. I took real red and I stamped it down several times on the piece of Whisper White, and I used the Whisper White craft ink and stamped it several times on the basic black. And you'll corner around all 4 of those corners as well. Then you're going to take a piece of vellum and your Petals-a-Plenty embossing folder. And what I did, I already did this because I just wanted it to be real quick, is I just took it and I ran it through one side. I took it all the way to the top of the folder, and I ran it through once, and then I flipped it, and you can see that there's a line right here where it's not embossed. You can barely see it on camera, but it's there, and that's not going to be a problem, and I'll show you why in a moment. But you're going to take it again and line it up about like that, so that you will have this line right here, and run it through again through your big shot. All right, and then on the recessed, or the negative, I think this is positive, and this is the negative. So this is the raised portion of the embossed surface, and this is the portion that's kind of indented in. I just took my real red Stampin' Right marker, and I took the brush point, the paintbrush point, and I just went through, and you'll want to keep your hands away from it because it will rub off before it dries. So if you want to go from bottom to top, that way you keep your hands from smudging it, because I did smudge it through a little bit. But you'll just kind of dot through each dot. You just sort of press it in, press it in, press it in, press it in, and you'll do that all the way through and let it dry. Give it some time to dry. All right, and then you're going to fold it in half. I wouldn't use a bone folder on it, because with this vellum having been embossed, it's a little bit delicate now, and you might crack it. You don't want to do that. Then you're going to use some sticky strip and just run the strip and here it's shut. You corner around those top 2 corners. And then you're going to take I took my 1/2 inch circle punch and I just figured out right around where the center of that top of the card is, and I did sort of a half moon. Punch that out just like that. And now I'm going to show you how you're going to hide the unembossed line right there. I'm just going to put a little bit right here. And then you're going to take another piece of sticky strip trim the end. There you go. Pretty simple right there. Then you're going to make a bow using that ribbon. And when I made this, I just had to twist this leg because it wants to be the black side, just like that, the plain side. So I just twisted it in place a little bit where I wanted it, like that. Okay, and you're going to take a glue dot and adhere your bow, just like that. The next thing you're going to do is take a piece of real red and you're going to stamp down the happy birthday from the banner greeting set. This is a hostess set in the new catalog, so you'll stamp that down with VersaMark and you'll emboss it with white Stampin' and embossing powder, and then you'll just fussy cut it out into this shape. Alright, so you're going to take these 3 pieces and you're going to sort of figure out where you want them together, how you want them together. Then you're going to figure out where you want your banner. I'm putting my banner in a little bit of a different position than I had it on the other card. The other one I had it sort of in the middle, like that. This one I'm going to put like this, just because of the different placement of where I have all the other flowers. And I'm taking a 3/16 Neutrals collection brad. It's the black one. And you're just going to pierce the 2 together and put the brad through. And I'm going to take a glue dot because I don't want it wiggling all over the place. And I'm just going to put a glue dot on and adhere it down, just like that. Alright, now you're just going to start adhering those pieces all together. Last but not least, what you're going to do is take a few basic rhinestones and put them on the centers of those flowers. There you go. That's it. That's all there is to it. Give it a little bit of bling. And the last thing you'll do is take a piece of Whisper White cardstock and cut it to fit this size, or the back of this. And you might want to dress it up a little bit with the flower stamps that we used in probably a light color, maybe in the corners. And then you'll just put you'll write your greeting on it. You know, mine would say, "Dear so-and-so, happy birthday, hope it's a great one, love, Courtney." And that's it. Then you'll take it and you'll tuck it into the pocket. And just be careful not to injure those basic rhinestones. And there you have it. Pretty simple, not that difficult. Takes a little bit of time to get used to the soot technique, but once you do, you'll love it. I hope you guys like this project. And until next time, happy stampin'!